Man United 0, Crystal Palace 1. United have lost another home game in the Premiership this season, which is game fit. We've lost 5 defeats now in the Premier League out of 7 matches. It is what it is. Joining me, Houston Red Army, Kareem, and the one and only, the lead singer, Denver Houston Red Army, Louis. Right, I'm going to start with you, Mr. Loverman. Did United play badly? What was it? Just accumulation of bad luck, bad refereeing decisions, or United? What? Just tell me in your own words. What went wrong today, mate?
I mean, you kind of took the words actually out of my mouth. That handball, egregious. Didn't even go look it back. They showed every other play outside of that. The goalie stopping, the shot and all this other stuff, but then did not replay that handball. Then later in the match, Amrabat apparently didn't get a handball. And I think that was their way of saying, well, that's retribution.
Exactly.
We didn't penalize you for that. So we'll just let bygones be bygones. That's not right. Do your job, refs. When there's a handball, especially the one we had against Tottenham, and now this one.
He didn't even review it. He didn't even go look.
VAR needs to be used for what it's supposed to be, which is to make the game even. And if you're not gonna do that, get rid of it. Okay? That's all I got to say about that.
Louis,
now, when it comes down to the way the team played, I could see glimmers of like greatness, especially when it comes to Amrabat. Ever since he's hit the pitch, he's been fucking phenomenal. And this is what you need. You want somebody who's running around and like actually affecting the game. Hoyland was always in the correct position, but he could never really get the ball. I think Rashford today was
awful. Absolutely.
He was not his self. Neither was Casemiro. Casemiro lost the ball way more times and was just too slow to get the ball out of his feet. And I think that actually affected us as far as our progressions were concerned. And you know what? I will definitely step back because we have a coach in the house. And he will definitely break it down way better than I could ever do.
Right.
Take it away.
Louis.
Yeah, no, it's very good points. I see what the system is supposed to be. Again, I think the positional rotation that we've been trying out is phenomenal. The ability for Amrabat to cut in centrally and kind of create the double pivot with basically a 3-4-3 with the box in the middle. There's glimmers of this. Unfortunately, the tempo of the midfield is too low. It's too slow building out. And then when it comes to the front three, look, Palace get a goal off of the set piece, very fortuitous, and then they park the bus for the rest of the game. So
game plan.
Mourinho ball.
So we maintain possession mostly in their half, in the middle third, in the attacking third.
Low block.
But the slow tempo of the midfield and the rigidness of the front three, I think, is our problem. Everyone positionally rotates. Delo pushed up high. Amrabat came in centrally. There were times when both Lindelof and Varane were playing high.
They were toggling.
Bruno played as a center back. He played as a 9. He was everywhere.
I don't actually. That's the only thing I don't like.
There's Mount was positionally rotating. The only players that do not positionally rotate: Rashford on the left, Hoyland in the middle, Plistri on the right. If they and again, like I understand that Rashford is very stuck to the left. He's very clear that he's a left-sided player.
He got worse on the right.
But I mean, you look at the most famous trios of the world: the Barcelona trio, the Real Madrid trio. It's fluid. It's fluid. Yes, you're the left-sided player. Yes, you're the right-sided player. But you should be able. Hoyland should be able to go where he wants. Rashford should be able to go where he wants. And there's moments, but I feel like the fact that those three are so rigid makes it a little bit predictable. And it allows the
you're Hoyland in this? Because Hoyland was the only one I saw that was actually pushing the ball out and actually holding up like an actual 9, not like what we were used to with.
So that's the thing, though. If he's going to tuck in a bit, receive the ball with his back to goal, and he's going to look to play the ball, then those wingers should be crossing. They should be coming in. Right. There should be a little bit more creativity.
It needs to be a little
However, what I will say is, like I said previously, I see the system that we are trying to create I understand it, but it all comes back to the reason that this system is not already in place, the reason that this system is not already drilled, is not already rigid, is because we don't have the players that we want, because the transfer window is shit, because the Glazers are consistently the problem. It is consistently a management issue. It's the top down. Glazers out, in a fire. It's consistently a management issue. This is the problem.
sorry.
Okay.
Well, what did I say?
He sneezed. It was a sneeze.
You know, he's talking from his heart.
Allergic reaction.
With the result now, another home defeat. This is the second home defeat of the season.
Yeah.
At home, we've lost 3 away. No, it's just getting bad. So, is it too early to ride the season up? I mean, to ride the season up is like top 4. Is top 4 still able to be achieved?
Okay. First off, we're
7 games.
We're 7. How many ever games? We're too early to talk about any kind of top anything. We can't even top our shittiest opponent. So, like, before we even get into that, let's try to get our players healthy again, because we don't have enough depth to play all the games that we are slated to play this year. Champions League, yes, we might not deserve to be there, but we're in there, right? We also have EFL, Carabao, and obviously the Prem. So that's a lot of games, and we need these players back.
Right.
The other thing, I don't know what's happening with the whole Sancho thing. He just needs to be exiled.
I think so. I'm in support of.
I think we sell him in January.
He's gone.
If you're gonna be a cancer to the team, you need to go.
He needs to go.
Just gotta go.
Maguire. Sancho.
He's basically James Harden, right?
Yeah.
So we gotta get rid of him.
That's very good.
If you don't like what's going on here, leave. We don't need you here. And we spent a lot of money on you, and you've done nothing.
I think I'll put him down as one of the flops.
Definitely.
I think he has literally flopped.
And you know what's so
and he's
funny?
just trying to hide behind, I'm being treated unfairly. I think he's just flopped.
You know what's funny? After all what the team has done for him, and he turns on him as well, but then Van de Beek looks better than him at the moment.
You know what I mean? There's a saying.
What?
There's a saying, when you think you're champagne in a tall glass, you're actually one piss in a plastic cup.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
is this a British saying?
Yeah.
Y'all are brutal.
But it is what it is. When you think you're champagne, Charlie, but you're literally.
Run that back again.
when you think you're champagne in a tall glass, but you're actually one piss in a plastic cup.
Yeah.
That's where we are with Sancho. That is my statement for today.
Was there any
United players who stood up for? Was there any standout? Or can you quickly go tell me who was your standout United player today?
Look, I think the youth tend to work the hardest. I thought Balestri again. I thought he worked hard. But unfortunately, I will say this asterisk, right? Is he works hard, but the impact is, especially going forward, is low. You could chalk that up to a service issue, but I think it goes back to the fact that the front three are too rigid.
Thank you.
Hoyland, I thought, he's trying to hold the ball up. He's trying to break that final line. He's trying, to make something happen. So I credit to them for trying to earn their place consistently, for trying to work hard. I thought, I don't know, I might get crucified for this. I thought Bruno had a lot of good moments. I thought he was.
Crosses were coming.
I'll get to Delo.
God.
I thought Bruno was all over the field, man, and he's trying to create and he's trying to make things happen. He's consistently one of the hardest working players on this team. I thought he was very good.
As a true captain should.
When it comes into Delo, look, I will not shy away from the fact that I've said the last 3 games, Delo has been absolutely dog doo-doo. I mean, he's one of the worst on the field. Defensively, especially, I think he's a liability for us. Going forward, we kept using him as kind of the relief. He was trying to press high. We found him basically at kind of the top corner of the box. His crosses are terrible. They're not to anyone specifically. I think he's trying to play into space. And when you have a crowded park the bus team in that 18, and you're just chucking up crosses and hoping for the best. It's too predictable. It's too easy to defend. So no, I thought, even though yes, he did have a lot of crosses, and he had those moments. I don't think it creates anything for us. I think it's more detrimental. I would really like to see us try instead. And as useless as it may be, I would like to see us instead just try to play through instead of trying to play over.
I do have a bit of a question for you.
Okay.
Who are our best center back pair?
Our best center back pair?
Varane and Martinez.
Yeah, probably, definitely.
Okay.
It's Varane and Martinez. Obviously, Martinez is injured, so you have to go with Lindelof.
Varane.
Lindelof has stepped up in a very big way for us defensively. Seeing him step up into the midfield is nice, because he does have the ability to kind of move the ball, but he's obviously a player that still makes a lot of mistakes. He's not a top quality center back, so he's a rotational center back in that regard. But what I will say is I will not blame the center backs for the right back. That's what I'll say.
Scale of 1 to 10, what you give United performance today, mate?
Oh my God.
They dug deep. They didn't get a result, but they dug deep. They kept going. Their heads didn't drop.
Okay, we'll split the game in two halves, right? First half, 3.
Dang.
First half was just
rough.
disgusting. They disjointed. I mean, even towards the end of the game, you saw everybody tripping over each other. Maguire trying to pass to Garnacho and off his foot out of bounds. Like, that's where we were. So, like, for me, first half, definitely like a 3. Second half, for effort only, 5. Effort only.
You quickly.
Yeah, I would say overall, I'd probably give it a 5. We maintained the majority of the possession. We're in the attacking half most of the game. There's just not enough creativity. Front 3 too rigid. We'll probably get into Ten Hag in a minute, but subs were questionable to me. So the most I could give them is a 5, and again, it is for effort because they did try. They tried.
I'm going to leave you with the last one. What are you going to give? I just need a score. What would you give Ten Hag's performance today? Tactic, selection, and substitution, quickly.
I'd probably give him about a 5. Selection, I thought was a correct selection at the beginning. Subs, I thought were very questionable. Bringing Harry and Van de Beek on at the end when you need a goal, when you have the likes of Hannibal on the bench and that kind of thing. Bringing Palestri off was not a bad idea, I don't think, but I probably would have brought Rashford off sooner. But again, that's not because Rashford did anything terrible, but I think it's just he needs to be rotational, especially because you need him against a Galatasaray. So yeah, I respect Ten Hag, I trust Ten Hag, but just I can't give him more than a 5. Definitely below average for me today.
You've heard it from Mr. Red Army. Another defeat today. Unfortunately, United, we thought we were on the ascendant going up after winning.
I'll give him a 4, actually.
You get 4.
Yeah, and the reason why I do that is because, one, Garnacho should be starting over Rashford. Rashford is not it right now. He needs to be able to understand that, hey, look, I trust this child over you right now.
Right.
And then once
so you want Rashford to get 5
child,
together?
He's like 20.
Who?
Garnacho.
Doesn't matter. He's still a child.
19,
Compared to
19,
Rashford, he's a child.
Right.
So, like, mentally, I would be like, look, I'm starting this kid over you because you haven't showed me anything. And then as far as Casemiro is concerned, I would either bolster the midfield, but right now, like I said,
it's supposed to be Amrabat, but he's having to play somewhere else at the moment.
Correct.
But, this is where we are. Houston Red Army. Glory, glory.
Man United.
See you on the next one.
Absolutely.